Download the BCSN Plus app today. Local sports all the time. Visit bcsnnation.com for details. Discounts may apply.
Lori Williams has built a soccer powerhouse at Anthony Wayne. Her teams have reached the state Final four times. And this year, for just the second time, they played for a state title. Perhaps the only thing missing from the program's rich history. 22nd game this season for the Generals. They haven't lost a single one of those games. Taking on Hudson in the state finals, lightning in the area delayed the start by almost a half hour, but couldn't dampen the A-Dub enthusiasm. Less than 10 minutes in, Lila Simon heads it forward. Lydia Smucker behind the defense, stays calm. Keeper gets a hand on it, but not enough to stop it. Trickles in, and once again, Lydia Smucker has given Anthony Wayne a lead. 15 minutes later, Generals Kayla Common, corner kick. Adeline Dorier is there, header deflected, free in the box. Simon gets a piece of it. Smucker just a defender in front of her. Generals march out the 2-0 lead. Now Hudson scores late in the half, so early in the second, 2-1. Common, an uncommon kick into the box. Tough play for the keeper, gets a piece of it. Smucker is there, and with a name like Smucker, it has to be good. Senior with the hat trick in the state title game. Generals hand Hudson their first loss of the season, earning the program's first ever state soccer crown. What a way to start the weekend off for that community.
We just knew that we had to sell out for everything we did, and we had to shoot and score any chance we had. So
great service by her. She wants to take the credit, but what great service!
Yeah, oh, I happened to be there, and I knew going in the game we weren't going to get many chances, so I knew I just had to finish anything that was in front of the goal. I just think the love for this team that we have for each other is just insane. I think we all came into the game knowing like we're doing it for each other. Like it wasn't no one person's job; it was everyone's.
One big thing we had this year is to control the controllables, and we knew going into this that it was going to be slippery being on turf, and we knew that they were such a fast team, but I mean I really could just control myself, and I knew what I needed to do to get out there and lead us to a victory.
It has nothing to do with me. These kids are the reason we do what we do as coaches, and this was a special group. We met with the girls just by happenstance. Our uniform adoption kit, the boys and the girls were both up at the same year. I told athletic administration, we don't need new kits this year. We got to put a star on them. And that was back in February, and the girls bought into it. So now we get to get new uniforms, and their legacy is forever cemented.
This thing is beautiful!
New uniforms next year as state champions with more on the victory. Mason Lowry and Chris Black join us.
Well, 3 opportunistic goals from Lydia Smucker, plus great defensive work for 80 minutes equals a first ever state championship for Anthony Wayne.
Well, you have to know who you are, right? And that is who Anthony Wayne was, defending all year long and finding some of their good players to finish out a game, get the goals. But it was a very Anthony Wayne-like game, except for it felt like a little more pressure than normal.
They defended exceptionally well. We saw it and said it throughout the broadcast. Hudson, one of the pacier teams in the attack that we've seen all season, right up there with the likes of Perrysburg and Upper Arlington. They carried such a threat, and with the exception of that one slip by Elena Chisholm in the first half that allowed Hannah Meese to pick it up in her own half and score, it felt like Meese and Ava Bell, their other standout, were under lock and key for all 80 minutes.
Yeah, and really their only opportunities were usually individual efforts that they had to kind of take the space given to them by Anthony Wayne. But then, generally speaking, Anthony Wayne was able to put their numbers in behind the ball and deal with kind of softening the blow that the individual effort was able to push against them. And they used their strength in numbers to be able to thwart the attacks and get going the other way.
Kind of remarkable to think about. Not only is this Anthony Wayne's first state championship, but it's the first state championship in girls soccer for Lucas County. You think of all the great teams and the great players that have come through our area over the years. This group is the first to ever do it.
Yeah, it certainly is. And it's got to be done by somebody, right? Someone's got to be first, and it makes sense. Everyone wanted to do it. Lori Williams wanted to do it prior with Anthony Wayne, but it finally gets through, and it does make sense. They've had a lot of great teams. It's not always kind to you every single year, and it might have been your year, another year, it didn't happen, but credit to them to get it done this year.
These Anthony Wayne seniors, many of them were here at Historic Crew Stadium in 2019 to cheer on the Generals, who ended up losing that championship game. It's all come full circle today. 3 goals from Lydia Smucker, and Anthony Wayne has their first state title in girls soccer. Back to you.
Tournament Time on BCSN is brought to you by Unison Health and the Mental Health Board of Lucas County, reminding you that it's your time, your choice.